every player on this team is just not good. 7-on-2, and this is the result. Give me one more goddamn teammate. Can I pen you now? Go fucking get him, team! God almighty! I was smarter as a sperm! Get my fucking ass off! These guys are sitting here. There's so many ways to not be bad.
Welcome back, everybody, to another I Need Intelligence Data podcast. Today I'm going to be joined with Where Are You, Aaron, and we got a bunch of spicy things to talk about. We got the patch notes. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the Stalingrad. We're going to go over the state of the game. We're going to go over final thoughts. We're going to include a bunch of things in this. It's just my thoughts and Aaron's thoughts on the whole game, what's upcoming, and we're going to go ahead and dive into it. Say hello to the people, Aaron.
Howdy, everyone. I love hearing the reverberation of myself raging in your mic. That's always a good time.
Yeah. So let's just jump right into it. The big news, Stalingrad.
Yes, comrade. The more bias inbound.
Yeah, so Stalingrad, if you guys want the details on that ship that's coming, it's going to be legendary. It's 2 million global XP. That's the only way you're going to be able to get it right now that we know of, which is pretty high, pretty steep. But if you guys want the hard details of it, Aaron made a video on it. I made a video on it. I go through the PC ship stats, and you know they're going to be tweaked for Legends, but they're probably going to be pretty similar. So go check out our videos on it if you want more details on the ship. But I had some thoughts on it. You know, the 2 million global XP, I feel like it's a little bit steep. I feel like 1.5 probably would have been better, because at the rate you accumulate, even with premium on a good game, without a flag, you're only picking up a couple hundred global, you know. So it's going to take people a long time to get that, if that's what they're saving for. Plus, probably most people want to buy like the Tirpitz or the Otago or, you know, the Atlanta, you know.
I mean, it's typical wargaming that they don't release a global ship for a while. So people had been accumulating, but then they dropped, the Massachusetts and then the Paulo. Well, the Massachusetts again and the Paulo. Yeah. And then the next update, they drop a ship for 2 million in legendary tier. So they're not as dumb as we want to think they are sometimes. But at the same time, you know, I think it's a great way to get new ships in the Bureau. And I don't want to harp on it, you know, too much longer, but guys, if you can't pay your rent, don't be spending $265 to convert Elite XP to Global XP. You know, Wargaming is a company and they don't work for free. So I feel like I'm right in the middle on this one. Like I like what they're doing. Obviously 2 million I think is too much. I think 1.75 or 1.5 would have been a lot more fair. But again, I'm not like that. I'm happy that they did that. I'm happy that is a good thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We'll have to see, you know, the ship in and of itself, what the ship's capable of, you know, because when you look at the stats on PC, it's got terrible turning circle. And you talk to people that have played it on PC, it's a laser beam, but it's like it's got a raised citadel. In the general Discord that has the best Sigma, which is dispersion in the game. So it's going to be a railgun. Will it be able to punish battleships? We'll have to see. And then, you know, there's some other changes coming down the line, too, that we'll talk about that kind of make the competitor of the Stalingrad really good, too. So,
yeah. Do you want to talk about that or the campaign ship first?
Let's go with the campaign ship. Let's go with the campaign ship. I'm pulling that up now. So
Piotr Bagration. Did I say that right?
I don't know. I'm calling it PB.
Yeah, PB. Bagration. Bagration, yeah.
I wish we had more updates on it, more of the stats, but you know, it says
the video. Did you see the video? They
I
dropped
did
a
see
bunch
the video,
of that, actually.
Yeah,
but I didn't pay attention to it. So
I didn't either. I think I saw a couple things. They like quickly cut from like one stat to the other. Like I didn't have time to read any of it. I did see that it had 180 millimeter guns. So
yeah,
it's got
it says that
guns
in our notes here with a 35 knot top speed.
Right.
Wait, hold on. With a maximum speed capped at 34.5 knots? Does that mean you can't? Does that mean they can't go over? Uh-oh, Hipper. Hipper's upset right now. I talked to him about that ship, actually. He said he might like it. I don't know. He says he's not sure it'll be he thinks it'll be like Chappie or Kudasov, and I was like, yeah, it could be. So
yeah.
But I honestly thought he might might love that ship, and it would be a very, very good like agile type or intermediate build. You know, it doesn't have
Right.
radar, so
Mm-hmm.
7-inch guns.
7-inch guns, no radar. It's either going to be a Mogami class for the Russians at the back of the map, lobbing hard-hitting HE, or it's
Yeah,
going to be something that can position and delete cruisers.
yeah, yeah. I think you're right. I think the AP on that thing, because of the that mixed caliber, is not gonna like a Baltimore now is overpenning battleships. So
We'll
I think
see.
the 7-inch might be a good mix in the in the craziness that is overpens in the state of the game. But
Yeah,
we'll talk. I guess we can talk about that later.
we'll just have to see. We get more details on the ship, and then we get our hands on it and actually get to play it. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. So new commanders coming. New commanders coming to the game. You know
Let
much
me
about
scroll
them?
to that. No, I looked at it briefly, and like I always will check out the new commanders, but to me, all the cosmetics and the new stuff is not really like. It's just I understand it's a part of the game, but to me, it's just like okay, I look at it and then I'll turn off the excess camos. One for me, it makes it hard to aim at, and two, it's just I know this game isn't historical, but I like to keep it relatively.
Right,
I don't want to
right.
see a King Kong floating on my ship sailing down the ocean.
Yeah.
It's
Well, like if you look in the patch notes, you got like Grimlock, which is it
there we
just
go.
says
Okay,
skin,
Grimlock.
and then underneath it it says improves the battleship's secondary caliber guns.
Yeah. I think
So
they labeled this wrong. I actually did read that. It says hot rod with the hot rod racer skin, improve radar, making spotting better from planes more difficult, hunt aircraft. So I think there's a little translation error. I'm pretty sure it's the commander that's going to do that, right?
yeah, yeah. Keeps you hidden from airplanes, improves the radar.
That might be a
So
useful one. Hot rod.
maybe,
Okay.
maybe, yeah. The superior, the Soundwave, better maneuverability and smoke screens. Great choice for Italian cruisers.
Okay. Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully
So
they work on that
that might
SAP
be
and
something. The Starscream one actually to me might be OP. We'll have to see how all the commander traits work out. But faster aircraft with bigger health pool, yikes! Because
yeah.
you can bully a DD like it's not even close to fair. You can bully DDs in a Parseval. And
Yeah.
especially now with a squadron of 9, they have such shitty AA anyways. You can just take a full flight of 9 in there, pop the booster, keep your planes fresh and alive, make the first run. You still got 6. He's trying to maneuver. You drop him again. You drop him again. Like you can
I
absolutely
think
bully
they're
him.
trying to make AA builds not completely useless. Because I don't think they're trying to overpower carriers, but this is again, it's a step in. It's an egg in the carrier basket, not the surface fleet basket. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're gonna have to see on that one.
We're
Although
gonna
I
have to
don't,
see.
you're the carrier guy. I haven't touched carriers. I find them incredibly boring, and I'm not that good at them. So
They're fun to kill DDs with the Parseval.
yeah,
Occasionally, you can land a double or triple Citadel on a Tirpitz or a Bismarck. That's kind of fun. Other than that, they're not fun. That's about it.
yeah.
But the
Yeah,
Torps are
like,
pretty OP.
they're a good. I think the Wargaming actually did a very good job of balancing them, especially reducing the Parsifal's bomb damage. 30K in
They
one
did.
run was pretty.
Yeah, yeah. But you're still hitting for 7,700 per bomb, so 7, 14, 21. You're looking at around
Yeah,
23K for a triple Citadel. It's still extremely significant, especially when you're dropping on a tier 6. Because the
yeah.
bombs don't always Citadel tier 7 battleships, but they almost always Citadel every tier 6. So,
And something, do you? I kind of lost interest in finding out because it's such a. I don't even think the people that we can ask know really, or they haven't really. I don't know the how to ask this question, but I would like to know the arming distance, the height at which to drop for a better pen. Like I wish we had all of those stats, and we can probably mention this at the end of like a wish list of things we want. But like we don't know this information. I heard that it's the higher you drop it, the better penetration you get. But
that's true.
I was still getting over pens at minimum distance. You know what I mean? So
All depends on where the bomb hits.
that too,
You know, because
which
if
you
you
can
hit the
control less
antenna,
of.
you're you're overpinning the fucking radar antenna. You know,
Yeah,
regardless. But if your bombs hit the deck, and this is where it's different, is like some battleships you just cannot citadel, and then some battleships that's all you do is
Vlad.
citadel. Like
Yeah.
you could Citadel Vlad, but it's kind of hit or miss because the guns are so big and there is superstructure there. But like things like Bismarck, you're hitting superstructure, you're going right through it to Citadel, like every time.
Yeah. The
Same thing
Bismarck
with
has one of
Turpets.
the
You're hitting the fucking
very bad.
handrail on the side of the ship and you're Citadeling it. It happened to me yesterday. I was like, oh, that was a Citadel. Like
Yeah.
so, we'll just have to see. We'll just have to see. But new DD line. They're bringing in a new DD line, which I don't. They didn't give us any stats on it at all. And pull up
Yeah,
the
I'm
picture.
trying to pull this up here now. Where is it?
They're
Bouncing.
bringing in tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, and tier 7. I'm guessing because the pod, the Gnimvi, Minsk, and Tashkent are mainly focused around guns. I'm guessing this alternative line is mainly focused around torpedoes, or maybe it's a hybrid between, torps and guns. Maybe something like a higher concealment, but torps that go like 8 kilometers. Something. Because the other
Yeah. Can we
line
look these
just.
up? Hold on. What's the tier 6?
I'm looking at the
Kiev?
picture right now. Yeah, the
Okay.
tier 6 is Kiev. I don't even know how to say the rest of the names.
Well, I'm
Tier
gonna I'm
5,
gonna go on
Bolvoy.
the PC version. Here we go. Kiev is a significant upgrade over Minsk in many respects. It has significantly more firepower and improved torpedoes. Okay, so it's basically like competitive Russian DDs, and not just in Minsk where you're like, what the fuck do I
YOLOing.
do? Do I
Yeah.
YOLO or okay?
Sit in the smoke for a minute and wait
So
3 minutes for it to come back.
130s. Ooh, 130 millimeters. Those would be pretty good. So if I think a 5 second reload here, 12 seconds per 12 shots per minute. So yeah, 16,000 health. Range 4 kilometers. Torps. Oh, then the upgrade is 8. So upgraded torps is 8 at tier 6.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
I mean
potentially
competitive.
better. Potentially better.
Yeah,
We'll just have to see how that line plays out, and when we get the statistics of them, we can actually get our hands on them. They might be spicy. They might be turds. We'll just have to see.
yeah.
No idea.
And I think a lot of people misunderstand me saying a ship is not competitive. For like, I don't know if you want to segue into this, like some of the buffs. Like for example, I don't play the Bismarck too often unless I'm memeing or just I'll take it out every now and then for a cruise. But the Bismarck is getting buffed again. And
It
when I
is.
say a
Yeah.
ship is competitive, that's what I'm talking about. Like this Bismarck is what? This is the third or fourth buff?
Oh, I don't think it's quite to buff guard standards, but it's getting there.
Yeah. So I mean, when we talk about ships being competitive, like if these ships are constantly being buffed, like that means they're underperforming. Whether it's the player, I'm not great in Bismarck, or whether it's the ship itself. Um, that's what we mean when we say a ship not being competitive. And the buff guard, for God's sake, that's got to be the worst tier 7.
I mean,
This buff
if
number
it's
5.
not, it's right there with its sister ships that are getting buffed, Gascon and Champagne.
Oh yeah, never
They're
mind. Those
both
got to be
getting
the worst.
buffed. But Vanguard is a fucking close second or third, if not the number one.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
yeah,
I'll have
so
fun in the Vanguard. You're echoing. I'm sorry.
uh, so yeah, so Bismarck's getting a buff to accuracy. Tirpitz is getting an even bigger buff to accuracy. Uh, Bismarck's going up 5%. Tirpitz is going up 6%. I'm pretty
Yes.
sure. Which I used to like playing the Tirpitz, but then it like just somehow it just got like inaccurate. And it just got weird to play, and so I kind of gave up on ever touching it again. But Tirpitz is a good ship. Like
I really enjoyed the Tirpitz when it like first came out.
yeah,
But I think it got power crept and uh, overshadowed by all of the shells inbound from the HE spammers.
yeah. So one of the bigger things to me, two of the biggest buffs slash nerfs. I mean, Cleveland's getting a reload enhancement or reduction, however you want to look at it. 6.5 to 7 Cleveland's getting another half second on a reload. That's really not going to change much because it's still a DPM fucking
Yeah.
monster.
I mean,
but
that will affect my DPM build from like 4.3 seconds to 4.5.
5, yeah. Big change there. But Yama's getting nerfed. The dispersion on Yama's getting nerfed. So you already have very questionable dispersion. I've got probably some of the best Yama dispersion out of the people I've seen play it that I play with a lot. And it sometimes can be trolly, but it's gonna.
Did you watch Durka's video?
No, I didn't.
Oh man, check it out. The dispersion in the North Carolina. We're talking about dispersion, but it's incredible. So talking about dispersion and my dispersion. I miss a ship at 10 kilometers landing on each side of him. So.
Oh, I know. I can't play NC, dude. It's terrible. It's disgustingly terrible. I can't hit what I shoot at.
Did they buff that? I didn't look.
Not yet, but they will. I guarantee it. Just like I told everyone that they're going to nerf Yamato. I knew they were going to do it. I've been saying it for months. They're going to nerf Yamato because it is, when it's accurate, it is disgustingly accurate. You can be in an Iowa, you can be bow tanking, and I hit you for 15k and take one of your guns with it. It's like, Yamato is disgusting between the armor and the guns. So I think they're nerfing it to play in tier 7s instead of just, taking it out of tier 7. Is what it is. We'll see how badly their 5% dispersion reduction affects. We'll see. It's going to be like running it without Scharnhorst on there now.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. I think it was definitely needed, but you're like right now, Yama is by far the clear cut. Like it's only the battleship you can play in legendary tier.
Yeah. Yeah, that's for sure.
Like the Conqueror is decent, but it takes pens at every angle, especially from Yama. You can sit at all that thing like 20k bow tanking.
Right. So the other big change is going to be to the Alaska, which it's been something we've been saying is needed and has been needed for a very long time. But the Alaska is going to become so competitive. It's going to become OP. Like the amount of buffs that they're putting onto it is insane.
Yeah,
I actually thought they went over ham with it, which I'm okay with because I like the Alaska. But so they're reducing this 10%. They're upping the AP pin by 5%, and they're decreasing the repair party by 10 seconds, so it can't be burnt down as easily. And they're upping the heal by 33%. So it's going to have
the heal or the repair part? The
HP. It says HP secondary regeneration is increased by 33%. So they're bumping up the heal. They're reducing the dispersion, making it tighter. They're upping the penetration of the guns. So for me, I already run a maximum dispersion build, and I run a maximum AP build.
Yeah.
So for me, the Alaska is going to become a fucking railgun that can penetrate anything.
So real quick, I don't want to be like, Tommy, fix everything in the comments down below when we're streaming. Well, actually, it's 44 seconds. The repair party is the heal, not the damage con. For are you talking about fires? I think it has a 30-second damage control because it's labeled as a cruiser, right, on this game as opposed to 60 on PC.
No, it's 60 seconds. When you pop your damage con, it's a 60-second cooldown before you get it back. And they're reducing it to 50 seconds. I'm pretty sure. I'm looking at it right here.
Repair party, not damage control.
Damage control party is what it's called. Repair party reload time. Okay, maybe it is. Okay, I'm wrong. So the heal is reduced from 60 seconds down to 50 seconds. So they're not touching the repair, the DC, the damage control. That's 53-second reload. They're buffing
yeah, so I was wrong
party.
on that too. It's 50. It is 55. Oh. Okay. But yeah, so the repair party is down to 50, which will, that will help anyway. Plus, you get 33% more of that heal.
Right.
So yeah, that will definitely help. But you're still going to burn for, 55 seconds here?
Yeah, you're still going to burn, but it sounds like you're going to be able to pop a heal, and that's going to combat a lot of that. being able to heal an
Yeah.
extra 33%. Because it already, if you get burnt, if you don't take citadels or like just too many
Yeah.
pins, you already can heal quite a bit. I run 4 heals on my
Yeah.
Alaska, so like if I need to disengage and go, kind of kite or run away for a minute, I can get those 3 or 4 heals off, and I can heal back a significant part of my HP. Like I can come back in the fight and be, just almost fine. So they're gonna buff
Yeah.
that. That's awesome. They're buffing the dispersion. That's awesome. Because Alaska, when she hits, I don't care if you're in Iowa and you're bow tanking me at 15 kilometers. I can zigzag. I can dodge most of your shells. You're not gonna be able to hit
Yeah.
me very hard, and I can hit you in the superstructure for 10k a pop if
Yeah.
it's accurate.
The problem with me was never really. I mean, the dispersion was trolly, definitely. But like, I have a game that I'm going to upload. I think you, me, and Bravo all had dev strikes. But
Oh yeah, that one.
my first
Yeah.
shot on an Otago at 12 kilometers, it went from stem to stern. I fucking hit everywhere on the ship. The next
Right.
shot, the shells are literally inside of each other for a dev strike. So I think maybe more consistency. Hopefully that dispersion buff will help that. But it's
Yeah.
the armor for the Alaska that is just the biggest question mark for me. It's always like, okay, am I going to take a citadel here through the nose, or is my 32 millimeter plating and 30? Is it 30 millimeter deck? Let me look real quick. Is it going to work this time? So I don't know if it's
So
Afton deck is
looking,
32.
yeah, I'm looking. Yeah, so it's supposed to be
32,
32.
yeah. Now,
So
obviously,
from
plunging fire is going to affect that at range, but still,
yeah,
it's
right.
that's always been the biggest question mark for me, or like throw my hands in the air, like, okay, I just took 20k to the front, obviously superstructure, etc. But
Well, go to the armor
I
viewer
think if
and look at the ship front on, like I'm doing now, and look how much of Alaska there is outside of just the bow. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
I think
Yeah,
that's
they
where
got a
we're
big
taking
old
a lot of those
tower.
pins. Yeah, big tower,
Hmm.
big superstructure. So,
But
and
how
that won't
much
be
of
able
that
to
can you
change.
abuse? I feel like they can abuse 50k of your, or
Oh,
40k of your 50k health
they
in that, just
can.
in that superstructure.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's something that needs looked at by the development team.
Yeah, that and a few other things. I wish they just, like I said, that we talked about earlier. I wish they just gave us those values. Like, okay, you have 32,400 health in your superstructure, because Wargaming has a video on this about the PC version. Like, and everyone should know this. After a certain point, you cannot burn a certain part of the ship anymore, or you cannot get any HE splash damage. You can saturate certain parts of the ship. The torpedo belt, most parts of the ship only have a certain amount of HP, and once you abuse that, you can sit there and shoot it all day. It doesn't have any more health. That's why you'll see
Right.
me or you or anyone aim for the bow, aim for the stern, aim for the superstructure, aim for the mid belt. You know.
Yeah.
So I would like to know those values. Now I understand that's asking a lot, but at the same time, here we are promoting your game. We want something in return.
So the other big change that's going to be affecting, I think, a lot of people that like to play destroyers. They're
Uh-oh.
nerfing Eric Bay base trait. They're nerfing it from 6% maxed out to 5% maxed out, and they're also nerfing Swirsky, which I can't even find him on commanders for some reason, but I know I
You,
have him.
you have to go to the ship. You have to go to the ship. He's not in the individual tab, I don't think.
I don't even see the ship available to.
Orkin or Blitzbach, right?
Yeah, it's
Or
not even in the
inspirations.
ships. It's not even in here.
They didn't give you. Oh.
I've got Bliswaska, and I can't find it unless I go to my standard battles and look at my ships.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that should probably change too. Can you go to premium?
It's not in premium.
Nope.
So they're nerfing Swirsky from 5% to 4%. So they're going to be upping all the DD's range. I think for the first probably month, we're going to see a lot of DDs get too close and
Yep.
get spotted trying to make their torp run. So
No more expert DD players getting a flank with their 4.4 concealment and their
Yeah.
Shimakaze.
I mean, it's about time they're doing something about that, because this game's
Yeah.
been out for 2 years, and they're finally nerfing DDs after buffing them because they gave them all perceptive.
Perceptive. That's not the only thing they nerfed too. I think the one of the perks. But I just gotta say, we just kind of we're talking smack, to Wargaming about the Alaska and the values and stuff. I gotta say thank you, because that is something that a majority of the, I don't want to say upper echelon, but a majority of the player base has asked for, except for obviously DD mains. Of course, if you're a DD main, you're going to be upset by this. But guys, running the Kleber right now, and I don't even have maxed out Swirsky or Bay, I can get the Kleber down to 4.3 with the Go All Out perk active. How on earth is that even remotely balanced? There is no carrier in Legendary tier. And there is, and the radar ships that we just mentioned, one of them is already getting a huge buff, and the other one is going to be getting a huge buff in some way because it's so bad. So I think that
Booster,
was definitely
yeah.
needed. Yeah, I think it was needed, and I got to say thank you for Wargaming for slightly, making it a little more balanced.
Mm-hmm. Uh, so that pretty much covers all the big balance changes. The Bureau, for those who don't know, PSA, where is it? The Star Spangled Fleet. This project is going to be disappearing. Like, I'm about to have my Oklahoma tier 4. I want it because I live in Oklahoma, but I've heard it's really good, and I've also heard it's really bad. I just want it for that reason. But if you guys want this ship at all, and you want this ship, you have to research it. You have to get at least one segment done, or what do they say?
You just have to start it. You
You
just
have
have
to
to
start
start
it.
it. Click on it and start it for 30 seconds, I think, and it will be there forever. Now, whether you
Yeah.
complete it is up to you, but it will be
Yeah.
there forever. I was told.
Right. It says the Oklahoma project will become uh, depreciated after the September update. This means you have to have at least one research point. So I think
Yeah, so
you might
literally
have to
start it.
complete one stage, one segment. I
No,
think
one
that's a
research
research
point.
point.
No, one research point is the points you get per second.
Okay. So you
We,
have
we
to at
should
least
we should
start it.
we'll try and double check, but I think at the very minimum you literally just have to click on it once, and it should be there forever. I could be wrong, and we will try to double check for you. But yeah, well, I'll put that in like a comment or something after the video.
Okay. So with that in mind, that pretty much covers all of that. Now, before we go into like our final thoughts, or maybe we'll segue final thoughts with this. Uh, in every INID podcast, we do a segment, State of the Game, where we talk about our thoughts on the current game, the current meta, um, and then we could just segue that into final thoughts to wrap up the podcast. But so, what do you think, Aaron? Like, what your state of the game right now? What is your opinion of this game that we all play so much and so often? What do you think?
I mean, I love this game. I think it's, like I said in my CC video, I think the game is in a decent spot right now. Now, the term decent is not, oh my God, I think the game is the best it's ever been. It's also not, oh my God, I hate this game. I'm gonna complain 24/7 on Facebook. I think the game is in a decent spot. I don't know how you feel about it, but Legendary tier is not the greatest. I think it's getting better now with the addition of the Stalingrad for global. That's another cruiser. It's another radar cruiser. It's not the type of cruiser I would have picked, but again, it's a radar cruiser that will fill the gap of adding. Now it supposedly has 12-kilometer radar. I think we talked about in our videos.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that is something that can really help balance out this plethora of just overpowered DDs. So other than that, I think tier 7 in itself, now you get up tiered almost every game in tier 7, but I think tier 7 is really balanced, and it's fun to play. Obviously when we get the terrible teammates or RNG of that we get sometimes, but other than that, I enjoy the game.
Yeah.
What
Um,
about you?
I have a little, I have a little different opinion at the moment. Um, so I, I truly think that this game is in a very tough spot right now. I think the I think the developers really need to get on the ball, and they need to drop training rooms. We need to be able to have custom matchmaking with our buddies where we can fuck around and play the game. I think they need to do that very soon, because between teammates, out of the 350 plus people that are in my Discord, they're all saying the same thing. Everyone I talk to is saying the same thing. The degradation of teammates' IQ and playability has gone downhill. I think that's because we've gotten a lot more players, but what does that end up being for us is a lot shorter matches, because
Yeah.
teammates are all dying inside of 5 minutes. You should not
Yeah.
die in a 75,000 health Iowa with 3 heals on deck inside of 4 or 5 minutes. There should be no reason.
Yeah.
So
We had a game. I think it's in the game where we all had dev strikes, and I hate singling out players, more so plays. We had a Belfast last for 45 seconds.
Yep.
In our game.
Yep, because he
Now,
got the shitty spawn. He got spotted off the
yes,
rip. He
exactly.
parked broadside and came to a stop, and the 2 battleships across from him just went blap, and he was dead.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah. Well, I think you went maybe a step ahead and talked about our wish list, because obviously I want training rooms more than anyone. I've been saying that. We've been saying that for a year now. Training rooms
Yeah.
would eliminate so many problems, but I also think it would find so many bugs. I think there's a bunch of bugs in this game that they just don't want us to know about, or kind of brush under the rug until they have time to fix them.
like the aiming
Because
bug.
obviously, like the aiming bug, like the overpen bug at certain, you saw that shot on that, what was it, Indianapolis in my John Bart?
Yes.
He was turning, I can overmatch every part of his armor, and I still get overpens on a completely angled. Regardless of that, I definitely want training rooms, and I think that it would grow their game even more. So I'm not sure why they don't have them. But
basic economics, you got to spend money to make money. But here's the thing that I don't think that they are considering whatsoever, is there is going to come a time where the new Call of Duty comes out, the new Battlefield comes out, the new Back 4 Blood comes out.
Oh yeah.
All these new sports games, the new 2K, the new Madden, you're going to have a wide variety of plethora of content that people can go play in the next 6 months. At the end of this year, at the beginning of next year, there's going to be a ton of fun new games coming out. And personally, I don't want to see the players leave the game, because I like being able to get into a 10-second queue. I like being able to play ranked when there's no power-ups and not wait for fucking 5 minutes per match. I like having that many players in this game. Now, that's why I said I think they need to get on the ball, because if they do not introduce new and fun content besides the monthly ship, or they drop some new premium that I can pay $30 for, which I'm not going to do, but if they don't get on the ball and put something in the game besides standard matchmaking, because standard is not that fun for a lot of people, and a lot of people play solo, and all these new players, these short matches, your stats are going down. You're just not having fun in a 6-minute match, period. Now, so personally, I think they need to really move up their timeline, because they're talking about giving us training rooms next year between spring and summer. That's what they said in the dev stream. They need to move that up, because we already know it's in the game. They need to finalize it and get it in the game before Battlefield comes out, before COD comes out. That's going to suck these people out of this game. And because trust me, when Battlefield comes out, dude, when 4 came out, I lived on it. I played it every day for fucking a year. Like,
oh, I mean, I'm definitely gonna be playing Battlefield. Like, that's no question. The question is whether they do enough to keep me playing this game every day, or is it gonna be a little, my time cut down substantially?
Yeah. I
know.
But
you brought up, so you mentioned. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, like, people only have. We play more than the average player, right? I play this game quite a bit. You play this game quite a bit. I'm still only logging, 4 or 5 hours a day, because we usually stream in the evenings. The day's over, we stream through the night, and at some point we get off, right? So we stream for 3 to 6 hours, roughly, probably 5-6 days a week. That is more play time than probably 95% of the rest of the player base plays. They probably get on.
Yeah.
They play an hour, play 2 hours, every other day, maybe twice a week, you know. So would they rather spend their little bit of time they have to play? Would they rather spend it on near, or would they rather go, fly a jet on Battlefield, or plow a farm on Farming Simulator, or, that's what it's going to come down to. And if they don't get their content out, if they don't give us more to play besides AI, which is dumb, or standard, which is not that fun because everyone's dying too early and we're not able to have competitive matchmaking.
Yeah.
I think they're going to lose a significant portion of their player base.
Yeah.
And I don't think they realize
no
that.
doubt.
Like, I don't think it's even been a thought that's come across their mind. But I feel like maybe you and I should tell them, like, guys.
I hope they watch this because you hit three things, three very good points that I think we kind of forgot to talk about. Number one, there's another premium Tier 6 American destroyer, the Charles F. Hughes, which that and a Tier 5 aircraft carrier, the Japanese carrier Zuiho, which neither of us are going to, let's be honest, neither of us are going to play. You might play the Zuiho once. So I like the idea that they're adding a Tier 5 carrier first, premium, to see how it does, instead of just a legendary or a Tier 7. But guys, did we really need another Tier 6 American destroyer? It looks like a picture of the mothball fleet. How many premium Tier 6 destroyers I have in my
it said in the thing, it was like talking about lots of torpedoes, but then I zoomed in on this picture here that people watching the podcast can see, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4 in a rack. I count 2 racks, so you're talking maybe there's 5 there, you just can't see it. Still, you talking 2x4 or you talking 2x5, and they're American torpedoes, so they're going to be slow. They're not going to hit very hard. It's going to be like another Sims epidemic or Benham. It's going to be like a halfway decent gunboat with average concealment and shitty torpedoes.
And you already have 3 of them. Why would you? Why? So
why would you play
it? If people want to buy that, like I always say this: if you guys want to buy that, by all means, go for it. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, but all I'm asking is maybe a better or different option. Like the British have not been given some love in a while. The French. I want to see a lot of these. I want to see a lot more stuff in Legendary tier. That's what I want to see. But anyway, the Italians. I want SAP, and going off of what you said, the second thing is maybe we should segue back to this. Ranked with arms race. I don't know who. I had fun in it, but it was not ranked to me. It was not competitive.
Yeah,
it was not competitive
arena.
at all. It was arena. So Wargaming in I think a Discord said that a lot of people, or Facebook said that a lot of people enjoyed that, and I enjoyed it actually, but I did not. It's not what I want for ranked. I want competitive, sweaty matches for ranked. Give me arms race and ranked in the same season. That's fine. I don't know how you want to split up your players. That's whatever. But give me arms race for arena if you really want to. I think arena is fine on its own. But I don't want heals. I don't want all this meme stuff in ranked. I had 100% in one season and a 90 in the other, and we stopped playing because it was not fun. It was like, okay, well, we just go for the heals, and you win. So, I kind of want a poll or something. I don't know how you want to do it for all of our members and viewers to see, like, guys, we do not want developers. We do not want arms race and ranked.
Yeah.
So that's something we kind of forgot to mention.
It was actually Steve-O from I think it was the SWCC clan, because he's always around. He's in the Discord. He's got a page in my Discord. He's always around. He's always active in the community.
Steve's a good guy.
Yeah, great guy. Love Steve-O. But he was the one talking about their response from their Discord, the public Legends Discord. Apparently a lot of people were on there praising, and Wargaming noticed that they were praising having heals in ranked. And it's like, I didn't even play the tier 7, dude. Like, I didn't even get to play it.
Yeah.
Because it was... You're talking, this is my bread and butter, dude. I've been asking for tier 5, 6, and 7 ranked since the beginning of the game. And now I can't play it because I do not want to get in a fucking HE slinging fest. I saw Sensei... a guy from our Discord and our chats, he had a fucking King George game. He had 400,000 damage. He had like 29 fires lit in a King George.
God. I
And
yeah, I
I
saw,
think he
I forget
lost
who
the
it
game
was.
too.
Yeah, I saw a guy in the Munchin get 360K in a loss. Like our strategy with my partner was I would play the Baltimore. I would literally rush their side with the if we saw a heal pop up. I rushed in Iowa and Edinburgh and a Turpitz and we won the game because I got their heal. I stole the
Yep.
heal from them and rammed like the Turpitz or something. Like that's not ranked. That's just beat the other person to the consumable. It's not like how it should
Yeah.
be.
Mm-mm.
But I digress. So
Very very cancer. Very cancer if you ask me. Um, so they need to drop that in my opinion.
yeah.
They
And
need
you
to move
mentioned it
on.
like you mentioned it as well. You know we talked about this segue to solo. Solo ranked, I could never do it.
Yeah.
I played a few games and they ended up being wins, but solo ranked is even more toxic than solo standard. And I just don't know how people do it. I made that video and it wasn't to insult solo players. It was to simply say, guys, I don't know how people play this game solo. And if you want to talk about your Discord and like trying to division up and things like that, that's something we mentioned we were going to talk about.
Yeah. So a lot of people watching this, you guys, a lot of you know, I've got 350 plus people now in my Discord. I set up a community Discord. I got a bunch of the CCs in the Discord. They all have their own channels. They manage their own channels. Um, we do like meme review. We do everything in my Discord. Clip review. And if you guys want to jump in it, go for it. There'll be a link in the description. Aaron's got his own personal Discord. He's got a bunch of people in it too. Jump in Aaron's Discord. Uh, that's a way you can connect with us outside of these live streams or in YouTube comments or whatever.
Yeah,
It's free.
that's
It's,
going to
it's
be
open to everybody. Jump in. We'd love to have you.
for me anyway. I know a lot of people send me messages on like Facebook and all this stuff, guys. The best way to get in contact with me or Peak even is to join our respective Discords and just ask away in there. I
Yeah.
also recently created a section like just called Division Up because a lot of people have also asked me like they'll see Peak and I most of the time wreck in a division like we play off of each other so well, and they're like, how do can we get in a division with you guys? Like, well, sometimes we do that, but if you guys want to, in this section, you can say, hey, my name's Aaron. I'm on Xbox. Does anyone want to division up? And obviously, not everyone is going to be super unicum 90% win rate, but if you're joining these and you want to be a better player, talk to each other, communicate, and try to win. Now obviously, don't be as toxic as I am, in the, the beginning of this and rage, but that's going to be a good way for people to connect. That's kind of what I did, like, hey, you want to play? So
Right.
I think that's something we talked about advertising. So there it is.
Yeah. So, final thoughts here. Like what I would like to see in the game. You know, the Stalingrad coming in, it might be good, but it's still, in reality, it's not what is going to help counter the massive DD threat that is in this game right now. Um, with like the Kleber and the Shimakaze. I mean, the Shima is so absurd. It's gonna get nerfed, guys. It's gonna get nerfed. The Torps have got to get nerfed. They're fucking 24,000 a torpedo. You're talking that goes up against tier sevens. It's a joke. You know what is it?
Tier sixes.
Three torps to kill in Iowa. Four torps to kill in
Yeah.
Iowa. Full health Iowa. That is absurd, man. So that's got to get nerfed, like badly. The Kleber, that's a fucking meme in and of itself. It can
Yeah.
literally just do a fucking circle, and by the time it completes a circle, its torps are reloaded. It gets six aside, and they're like a 60-second reload. Plus, you get a gun DPM reload booster. It's absurd, man. It's got to get nerfed. It's got to get fixed. But we need something to
Did
counter that.
did
They're
Meta tell you his win rate and stats on that ship?
insanely high, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's like 2,800 XP. So like, it's not like, come on.
That's insane. That's truly insane. So they're doing the right thing by nerfing DDs across the board. I like that. I like that a lot. They need to do. Well, we'll see how this patch changes concealment of some like Yudachi, Remember when the Udachi came out? That was so
God.
toxic. It was like, oh, there's a Udachi on this flank. I'm gonna go over here.
Yeah, that's.
So
Oh, I think that's why they're terrified of Tier 7 premium DDs.
because they make them too powerful.
Yeah. Oh man.
Well, I would like to see something like Des Moines still. I would like to see Des Moines come into the game. Quick reloading Balti. That's all Des Moines is.
Yeah.
Quick reloading Balti. And
I think
that
it has a
would really
tiny bit
help.
better armor, but yeah.
A little better armor. That would really help us in the game. That would help us dramatically. This game works off of teammates. Destroyers push caps, destroyers spot. Cruisers back up destroyers, battleships back up cruisers and destroyers. Right? Battleships take the damage, they dish the damage. Cruisers, they're on standby for DD support, they whittle down battleships. They smack cruisers. DDs cannot exist without cruisers, battleships. Battleships and cruisers cannot exist without DDs. So,
Yeah.
we'll just have to see.
It's like a harmony of how
It is.
when you get everything right.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice to get in a division with players that you play off of and play well in their respective classes. Now, obviously,
Right.
it's shit happens, but
Yeah, right.
man, when you guys, all you got to do is do your job, like in Fury.
Yep.
Just do your job. I don't
Yep.
care if you have 10 spots and that's all you have. If you're spotting for me and I'm behind an island and we can spam that guy, he's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
Yep. And that's where carriers don't really fit the meta at all. Because they can spot, they can dish out damage, and they don't sacrifice any HP whatsoever.
Yep.
But that's never going to change. They're going to leave carriers in forever. As long as they don't make carriers OP as shit like on PC, I think I'm fine with having a carrier, personally. And
Yeah.
if they don't do crazy damage, people won't want to play them that much. So
True. It takes a lot of the skills. The skill ceiling is really high for carriers right now, which I don't mind at all.
yeah,
So
I don't either.
that is good.
Yeah, as it should be, because you're doing nothing. You're not risking any HP to get damage off of ships. So I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine.
Yeah,
with
but
that.
do you wanna give? I'll throw my final thoughts, and you can give your outro. Or did you wanna? I think we covered everything.
I think
Nice
we covered
little 30
everything.
minutes here.
Yeah, 47 minutes.
Okay. I think that's a good time. I think that's a pretty good time. 50, right
Yeah.
around 50. So
Yeah.
My final thoughts. I love this game. I want to see it excel. And bouncing off what Peak said, I think Legendary tier needs to be even more balanced. I said Des Moines, Hindenburg, and Venezia need to be, or some form, some alteration, Henry the 10th or whatever, the Henry 7th, I don't know, the tier 10 French cruiser. Some form of like 2 or 3 cruisers have to be added to the bureau. The Stalingrad was a great start.
Yeah.
Maybe we reduce the global and add another cruiser in or another ship. We don't need the Montana. We don't need. I would love to see the Daring. We don't need another damn DD at legendary tier.
We need cruisers.
You get it. You queue up and it's 5 DDs and 4 Yamas.
Yeah.
I understand they can't add everything all at once, but give us a little variety. Also, I think we need more maps. Maybe one in the coming here, and then one more in the next 2 or 3 updates.
Right.
As well as Epicenter and more domination maps. The map Atlantic, Capture the Base, I almost want to quit the game. It's
terrible.
Yeah. But besides the negative, I want training rooms. Obviously, that's not. I guess it's still bouncing off the negative. I want training rooms, and I want more detailed stats. Shell velocities, sigma. I want to be able to test those values. The weights, I want them all,
Yeah.
Knowing the shell weight of the Fletcher class destroyer I'm staring at isn't going to help, but knowing the shell velocity, knowing the damage, the pen, when to shoot AP, when to shoot HE, and that's stuff that we can't really effectively teach to the up-and-coming players. I've had so many people message me, and I know you have as well, like, hey, man, thanks for telling us to shoot AP at a broad. It's like, people don't know. There's no instruction. There's no training or of any type, so people don't know, and they have to watch these videos and these tutorials or just get dev struck and say I hate this game, so beyond that, I think those have to come. And then my final little thing is thank you Wargaming for listening to us, even though it took 2 years, listening to us and nerfing DD concealment, and adding a ship available for global XP. Those are my final thoughts. I'm gonna let Peak finish it out. Aaron out. Peace.
So I could wrap up your thoughts a little bit. I've already gave most of my final thoughts, but if they put training rooms in the game, they could make everybody. I would do it. Make it mandatory for everybody. A quick little session in all 3. You know, like how to fire torpedoes. Make them go from narrow to widespread. You know, give them a little hint. Like narrow is better for, you know, keeping torps together closer at range. Because you see kids dumping widespread at 10 kilometers. It's like the torps are, there's like 1 2 miles over there, and there's like 1 3 miles over there. It's like
the gearing at 15K.
Yes, exactly.
It's like one hits one corner of the map.
Yes. So they could do the same thing with battleships, with cruisers. They could tell people about angling, you know, like give them a quick little thing when you're sailing broadside. Freeze the frame. Look, this shell is going to pin. It's got this size shell. It can go all the way through and arm. If you angle, look, it's going to bounce. You know, give people simple little tools like that, and then make every single new person that plays the game go through that tutorial so they have a basic understanding of how these shells in these games work. Yes, I would like to see more detailed stats on the guns. I would like to see shell weight, shell velocity. I would like to see the arcs. I would like to see all this. Put in a graph. They've got the graph for the shell, arc, travel time, velocity, pin at range, shit like that, because obviously we have shells that fly ranges. Like, but they don't put the graph in the game for us. Put it in the game. I would like to see this. I would like to know these numbers. Because then we could have hard data to go off, you know? I would like to see them get on the ball and give us more than just, like I said earlier, more than just a couple ships every update. I would like to see new maps. I know maps probably take a little while for them to tweak and make, but we need new maps. We need new content. And a couple ships once a month isn't going to do it. I think training rooms could be something that really holds down a lot of the player base when these new games come out. But I don't think they realized when these games come out, there's a very good possibility that they lose a significant percentage of their player base. Maybe not completely, but the people that play the game every time they get on, yeah, they might want to go play Battlefield or go play Back 4 Blood or, you know, anything else. The new farming sim that's coming out. So we'll just have to see. But that pretty much wraps up my final thoughts. I am appreciative to Wargaming, even though it doesn't sound like it all the time, that they do listen to us, but it just takes a long time. And I said this in, I think, my patch notes video, that they do listen to us. It does take a long time. It probably shouldn't take that long, but they don't make changes in the game based on our opinion. We just validate that opinion that they're seeing on their spreadsheet. You know, they get X number of data on their spreadsheet, then they go, okay, we need to tweak this number, you know. And so it looks like that's what they're doing. So I'd like to see limited number of destroyers per match. I do not want to play a game with 5 DDs on the enemy team. You know, let's put a DD limit in the game. And if you guys need to like pull up a queue like you have on PC where it shows the number of ships per queue, you know, you're sitting in the lobby, there's 150 DDs trying to get into a match. Okay, well, back out. Let's not run a triple DD division, you know. Stuff like that. I would like to see that. But will they do it? Probably not. But I would like to see a limited number of DDs, max 3 per game. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to do it. I think that's going to wrap it up. I appreciate everybody for watching. This is the I Need Intelligence Data podcast with Aaron. And we are out of here. Everybody, peace.
Every player on this team is just not good. 7-on-2, and this is the result. Give me one more goddamn teammate. Can I pen you now? Go fucking get him, team! God almighty! I was smarter as a sperm! Get my fucking ass off! These guys are sitting here. There's so many ways to not be bad.